Yes, be attentive. Look at question 11 of exercise 1.4 on page 48. Be attentive. If two balanced dice are thrown, then find the probability that, now two dice are thrown, so we'll make that outcomes. How many outcomes? 36 outcomes. Let us do that first. Write down. U equals to 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5 and 1 6. 2 1 to 2 6. Yes. Without talking, do your work. N is 36. Okay, now, yes, silence please everyone. Now, first question asks us, find the probability that at least, yes, we are under. First question asks us, find the probability that at least one dice shows number 5. So let us define it as event A. Let event A be the event. Let event A be the event that at least one dice shows 5. Now here at least means will not apply the formula of A union B. Here at least word will not indicate that. But directly do it like at least one dice shows 5. So can I say this outcomes will be included? You will find dice 2 having 5, dice 1 having 5, and both the dice having 5. So at least one dice shows 5 in this or not. Okay, so what are the outcomes will be included in event A? 1 5, 2 5, 3 5, 4 5, entire row of 5, 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, 5 4, 5 5 and 5 6, and from row 6 6 5. Counted the 11 outcomes about 1 2 3 4 4 plus 6 10 plus 1 11. You will understand it everyone? So what is the probability that at least one dice shows 5? MA upon N, 11 by 36. Any confusion in this? Should I take up the second one? Yes. Days you are still solving A. All are completed. Now, and then first dice 5 or 6. First dice shows the number 5 or 6. Mark it as B because A is already defined. Okay, so mark it as B. And like AND. What will we mark AND as? Intersection. Mark it as intersection. And like other dice, even number. Other dice shows even number. Mark it as C. What do we have to find here? B intersection C. First we'll find B, first we'll find C, and then intersection, common of the two. So first let us define the two events. So let event B be the event that first dice shows 5 or 6. Okay. Let event C be the event that second dice shows even number. Okay, let event C be the event that second dice shows even number. Now, can you tell me? First dice shows 5 or 6. Means, can I say this outcomes will be included? Where the first dice shows 5 or 6. Okay, this will be event B. Any doubt with this? So now B equals to entire row of 5 and entire row of 6. No need of MB and PB. We directly define D of B intersection C only. Okay. Same way, what is C we have defined? Second dice shows even number. Can you tell me where do you find second dice shows even number? This 2 is even, 4 is even. Means this entire row, this entire row, sorry, column, and this entire column. This is event C. Any doubt with this? So, write down. C will include 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 6, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 6, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 4, 2, 4, 4, 4, 6, 5, 2, 5, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 2, 6, 4, 6, 6. Now, what question we have been asked? We need B intersection C. Did you understand this portion or not, everyone? Any confusion so far? Now, how do you find B intersection C? B and L. What is common in B and C? Here itself we can see. In common in B and C is this numbers. Okay, what is common in B and C? So put on B intersection C, which is common 5, 2, 5, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 2, 6, 4, 6. Last row is common in both. So M of B intersection C equals to 6. Okay, now we can write the main question. Thus, did you write up the M of B intersection C? Thus, the probability that first number or first dice shows 5 or 6 and second dice shows even number equals to PB intersection C, MB intersection C upon N, 6 by 36, 1 by 6. Did everyone understand this question? Any doubts there? Next, question 12. Same page. Be able Should I take it up? A problem in mathematics is given to Tanya, Kathan and Kirti to solve. The probabilities of them solving the problem correctly are 2 by 3, 3 by 4 and 1 by 2 respectively. Means, we define event A that Tanya solves the problem correctly. Then what is PA? 2 by 3. B that Kathan solves it correctly, so PB is 3 by 4, and C that Kirti solves it correctly, so PC is 1 by 2. Any confusion in this? So let Tanya mark it as A, Kathan B, Kirti C. Now the question is find the probability that the problem align is correctly solved. Where did we see the word is? Law of addition means is, so write down A union B union C. Is word we had seen in law of addition. Either or at least will be is and C. Okay. So here is solved correctly means what either Tanya solves it or Kathan solves it or Kirti solves it or any two of them solve it or all the three solve it. Means A union B union C. Any confusions with it? Now A union B union C. Tell me one thing. Does the solving of problem correctly by Tanya depend upon the solving of problem correctly by Kathan? Means are they dependent events or independent events? We assume they don't copy. So they are independent events. One more thing. Can any two of them or all the three of them also solve the problem correctly? Means intersection is possible. A and B can solve the problem correctly. Means Tanya and Kathan. That is A intersection B is possible. So can I say events are not mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive means intersection is null set. But here both can solve it correctly. Means A intersection B, B intersection C and A intersection C is possible. Even A intersection B intersection C is possible. So they are not mutually exclusive events. So what was that long formula of A union B union C? PA plus PB plus PC minus A intersection B minus B intersection C minus A intersection C plus A intersection B intersection C. Understood that? But we are given only three probabilities PA, PB and PC. So let's see how to find the rest. First define. Let event A be the event that Tanya solves the problem correctly. Let event B be the event that Kathan solves the problem correctly. And let event C be the event that Kirti solves the problem correctly. Now three probabilities are directly given. So what is PA 2 by 3? What is PB 3 by 4? And what is PC 1 by 2? Now just now as I discussed with you, are the events dependent or independent? Independent. Solving of problem by Tanya does not depend on Kathan or Kirti. So in independent events we studied in the last lecture. How do you find A intersection B for independent events? Formula of independent events A intersection B. PA into PB. So that is how we will find A intersection B, B intersection C, A intersection C and also A intersection B intersection C. Then only we can apply the formula of A union B union C. Okay. So let us P of A intersection B equals to PA into PB. Okay. Why? Because the events are independent. Solving of problem by one person will not depend on solving by another. So 2 by 3 into 3 by 4. 3 gets cancelled and 2 into 2 is 4. So 1 by 2. PB intersection C equals to, how will you find? PB into PC. 3 by 4 into 1 by 2, 3 by 8. Nothing gets cancelled. P of A intersection C equals to P of A into P of C. 2 by 3 into 1 by 2, 2 gets cancelled, so 1 by 3. And P of A intersection B intersection C equals to PA into PB into PC. That is 2 by 3 into 3 by 4 into 1 by 2. 3 gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled, 1 by 4. Understood this? Now can we apply the formula of A union B union C or not? Understood this everyone? So let us build that thus. Who are still doing up till A intersection B intersection C? Thus the probability that the problem is solved equals to PA union B union C. So PA plus PB plus PC minus PA intersection B minus PB intersection C minus PA intersection C plus PA intersection B intersection C. Got it everyone? Okay, now what is PA? 2 by 3. PB 3 by 4 plus PB 3 by 4 plus PC 1 by 2 minus A intersection B 1 by 2 minus B intersection C 3 by 8 minus A intersection C 1 by 3 plus A intersection B intersection C 1 by 4. LCM is 24. 3 into 4, 12 into 2, 24. That's it. Other numbers ignore it because all have 24 as a multiple. Okay. So what is 24 divided by 3? 8 into 2. 24 divided by 4. 6 into 3, 24 divided by 2, 12 into 1, 24 divided by 2, 12 into 1, 12. 24 divided by 8, 3 into 3, 9. 24 divided by 3, 8 into 1, 8. 24 divided by 4, 6 into 1, 6. Understood this everyone? 16 plus 18, 34, plus 12, 46, minus 12, 34, minus 9, 29, 25, minus 8, 17, plus 6, 23. 23 by 24. Did you understand this portion, everyone? All are clear with it? Now, question 15 will be your homework. It is exactly similar, but I am discussing that. Will be your homework. It is exactly similar. And see that if 3 events A, B and C of a random experiment are independent events. Independent events means you can find PA intersection B as PA into PB, then PB into PC, A into C, A into B into C. And PA equals to 0.2, PB equals to 0.3 and PC equals to 0.5. Then find PA union B union C. Is it exactly same as that or not? So you will find first this all intersections, then apply this formula. Okay, this will be your homework. Even question 13 is exactly similar with 2 events. So I discuss it and you'll try it on your book, then I'll show it on the board. Okay, see that. Person A can hit the target in 3 out of 5 attempts. Means 3 by 5 is PA. You'll say event A is the event that A hits the target. Person B can hit the target in 5 out of 6 attempts. 5 by 6. PB. You'll say event B be the event that B hits the target. If both of them attempt simultaneously, now tell me, can both of them hit the target? Yes. So A intersection B is possible and they are not mutually exclusive. Further, does the hitting of target by A depends on B or B depends on A? Means they are independent events. So how would you find A intersection B? PA into PB. Now question is, find the probability that the target is hit. Means what will you find? It was A union B. Like this is the lengthier one we did, this is a shorter one. How do you find A union B? PA plus PB minus A intersection B. And first, how do you find A intersection B? PA into PB. Got it, everyone? So exactly this similar one. This was with 3 events. Now this is with from defining of events. Everything do it on your own. Then I'll show you on the board. Who all could complete it? Now see, I am showing it on the board. Pay attention, all of you. Silence. You'll say let event A be the event that A hits the target. Complete silence. Let event B be the event that B hits the target. Now A hits the target in 3 out of 5 attempts, so PA is 3 by 5. Who is this? Who is hitting this target? B hits the target in 5 out of 6 attempts, so PB is 5 by 6. Now first we need to find P of A intersection D. That will be PA into PB. So 3 by 5 into 5 by 6. 1 by 2. And then we can say thus the probability that the target is hit equals to P of A union B, PA plus PB minus PA intersection B. PA 3 by 5 plus PB 5 by 6 minus A intersection B 1 by 2. 5 into 6, 30 is the LCM. 30 divided by 5, 6 into 3, 18. 30 divided by 6, 5 into 5, 25. 30 divided by 2, 15 into 1, 15. So 28 by 30, 2 into 14, 2 into 15, 14 by. Who all could get this right? So everyone is clear with how to solve this A union B. So these are mixed questions. Law of addition is also there and law of multiplication is also. Understood this question, everyone? Okay. Now, question number 14. Person A speaks truth in 90% cases. What is PA equals to? 90 by 100. 9 by 10, 0.9. We'll keep it in fractions. I've seen in textbooks, they don't take it in decimals. They solve all the questions in fractions. Okay, so 9 by 10. Person B speaks truth in 80% cases. So 80 by 108 by 10. Means we'll define event A that A speaks truth, B that B speaks truth. And then 90% marked as PA, 80% as PB. Now find the probability that persons A and B and differ in stating the same fact. Now put your pens down, be ready. You are given that PA is 90 by 100, which is 9 by 10. PB is 80 by 100, which is 8 by 10. Where we'll say A is the event that A speaks truth and B is the event that B speaks truth. Okay. But the question is asked, find the probability that both of them differ in stating the same statement. So what is the probability that both of them differ? Now can I say both of them differ means A speaks truth and B speaks lies? B not. B does not speak truth. B complement. Or A speaks lies. A does not speak truth. A not. And B speaks truth. Did you understand this? Now we can apply the formula of independent events. But for that we will need B complement and A complement. How would you find A not? 1 minus A. 1 minus 9 by 10. 10 minus 9 by 10. 1 by 10. How will you find PB not? 1 minus PB. 1 minus 8 by 10. 10 minus 8 by 10. 2 by 10. Now, what is PA intersection B not? PA into PB not. Or means PA not into PB. PA not intersection B. What is PA? 9 by 10. PB not? 2 by 10. Plus PA not? 1 by 10. PB 8 by 10. 18 by 100. 8 by 100. 18 plus 8 by 100. 26 by 100. 2 into 13, 2 into 50. 13 by 50. Did you understand this question or not? Yes. So first let event A be the event that A speaks truth. Let event B be the event that B speaks truth. Now show this PA, PA not, PB, PB not. Okay, show this PA and PA not's calculation, PB and then PB not's calculation.
Sir, B does not speak truth, so it is B not.
Yes.
Sir, but it is that not what comes in sentence. So how can we predict that B not comes?
One second.
जब B truth नहीं बोलेगा, वो सेंटेंस में नॉट आया ना, तो फिर तो ये मतलब ये मैक्सिमम नेगेटिव कैसे B not हो सकता है?
What is the question? Both of them differ in stating the fact. Both of them differ means what? A speaks truth but B does not speak truth. So that's what we are finding. A intersection B not. Or second alternative is B speaks truth, but A does not speak truth. That is A not intersection B. And then simply you have to multiply independent events. A speaking truth does not depend on B, and B does not depend on A.
And the here and means intersection.
What and means intersection?
Just the and.
No, here and means nothing. That and is not in the main question. Final question is find the probability that both differ. Final question is find the probability that both differ. Now we have to interpret. What do you mean by they differ? They differ means A speaks truth and B does not. Or B speaks truth and A does not. So that in the question no intersection is indicated. That we have to understand from the language they differ.
So, but intersection means common. So that here one person speaks truth and other lies. So what is common in that?
A speaks truth and B does not speak truth. There is nothing common in that. Here intersection doesn't mean exactly common. If you do in detail with a Venn diagram, then this is A, this is B. Okay? What is A? What is B? Not everything other than B. So what is A intersection B? Not this part. This is what we are finding. A intersection B naught is possible. There is common in A intersection B naught. And see that in difference events, you will find that. In difference events, we have done that. Difference event A minus B and B minus A, we have denoted the same. A intersection B naught and A naught intersection B. Okay? But don't think so much in detail in probability. The best. No, practically, I told you in the earlier lectures itself, if you remember, that probability you will understand only if you don't think in detail. Because it's a fact that you get confused. So here if you think in detail, A speaks truth, B does not, then what is common in that you get confused. Simply go by the language. A speaks truth and B does not, so PA into PB not. Okay. The moment you apply your mind more than necessary in probability, you are wrong. Okay. And that's the reason that this is the only chapter I don't involve participation. Because I know if I involve participation, then you start thinking in it. And then the problems will arise. Okay, which I don't want. So this is the only chapter in all accounts and stats since 11th standard till graduation where I don't ask any of the students, I directly explain. Completed this?
Yes.
All are clear with it?
Yes.
So look at question number. Exercise on a roll. Yes? Statement is enough. Thus the probability that the question is meant to be solved. Thus the probability that both A and B differ. Thus the probability that both A and B differ in stating the same fact. In stating the same fact is equal to, now show this. And in this chapter I am solving illustrations also for that reason only. Because I know you will not be easily able to solve them at home. Exactly similar illustrations only I am giving you in homework, otherwise I am taking it up in the class, okay? Completed with question 14 everyone? Look at illustration 30 on page 41. A medicine is tested on a group of rabbits and mice to know its effect. See, a medicine is tested on rabbits and mice to know its effect. Okay? It was observed that 7 rabbits show the effect of medicine in a group of 10 rabbits. So can I say 7 show the effect, 3 do not show any effect. Total there are 10 rabbits and who are given the medicines, and 5 mice show the effect in the group of, make it 9 mice, make a correction. 5 mice show the effect in the group of 9 mice who were given the medicine. Now 5 show the effect out of 9 means 4 do not show the effect. Total there are 9 mice. Okay. Don't follow the table of the solution. I told you in solutions they are very erratic. There is a table we will follow. Now what is the question asked? See that. This is similar to the question we did yesterday. It's on multiplication law. One animal is selected at random from each group. Means one animal is selected at random from each group. Means one rabbit is selected and one mice is selected. So here n will be 10C1 and here n will be 9C1. Now find the probability that when both the selected animals show the effect of medicine. Both show the effect of medicine means, can I say R intersection M? Rabbit also shows the effect. Mice also shows the effect. R intersection M. Okay. Now R intersection M means that is 7 by 10 into 5 by 9. Write on this table first. Okay, what two events will define? Let event R be the event that rabbit shows the effect of medicine. Let event M be the event that mice shows the effect of medicine. For simplicity, we will define it as R and M. Did you write this table? Let event R be the event that rabbit shows the effect of medicine. Let event M be the event that mice shows the effect of medicine. Any doubts for this? Now, first question we are solving, okay? So directly we have to find the answer. Thus the probability that both the animals show the effect of medicine. Both show the effect means rabbit and mice. So R intersection M. Below that I wrote P of R intersection M. That is P of R into P of M. What is P of R? 7C1 upon 10C1. What is P of M? 5C1 upon 9C1. 7 by 10 into 5 by 9, 7 by 18. Any doubts with this? All are clear with it? Now put your pens down. Second question, mark it important. See here. This we did yesterday also. In the exercise, one of the two selected animals shows the effect of medicine and another animal does not show the effect of medicine. And then one shows effect and other does not show the effect. Now see here, there are two alternatives. Either rabbit shows the effect and mice does not show the effect, or rabbit does not show the effect and mice shows the effect. Understood this? So how can we find this? So one animal shows the effect and other does not show the effect. One animal shows the effect and other does not show the effect. Understood that? Okay. How can we find this? P of R into P of M naught. Just now we did that in that lice question also. Or means plus. How will you find this? P of R naught intersection means multiplication P of M. What is P of R? 7 by 10. And what is P of M naught? 4 by 9. What is P of R naught? 3 by 10. And M 5 by 9. So don't simplify because LCM will become same then. So 28 by 90 plus 15 by 90. 28 plus 15 by 90, 43 by 90. It cannot be simplified. Did you all understand this portion, Adina? Any doubts to this? So directly we will write this statement and solve it. Okay, because R and M we have already defined. So the probability that one animal shows the effect of medicine, one animal shows the effect of medicine, and the other animal does not show the effect of medicine is equal. Now show this. I gave 32 and 33 homework, right?
Yes.
Look at illustration 31 on page 43. So all are clear with this question? Okay? We read it. A company produces a certain type of item in two factories, A1 and A2, in the proportion of 60% and 40%. Means, can I say that the probability that you'll get the item from factory A1 will be 60 by 100 or 6 by 10? Don't make it 3 by 5, keep it 6 by 10. Same way, probability that you get the item produced from factory probability that you get the item produced from factory A2 will be 40 by 100, that is 4 by 10. Any doubts with this? Now further, the proportion of defectives in the production of these factories are 2% and 3%. Suppose we say that defective is denoted by event D. Then can I say probability that item is defective given that it is of factory A1 is 2%? From A1, what are the chances that the item produced is defective? 2%. So what is this 2% actually? D slash A1. It is the probability that the item is defective given that it is produced by factory A1. Same way, what is the probability that 3% D slash A2? Probability that the item is defective given that it is from factory A2. Any doubts with this? So here we will have to define three events. A1, that item is produced by factory A1. A2, that item is produced by factory A2, and D, that item is defective. Now, what is the question? As only one item is randomly selected after mixing the items produced in two factories. Means you mix up the products of factory A1 and A2 and then you select one item of that. So that one item could be either of A1 or of A2. It can be of any of the two. Okay. Now the question is, find the probability that the item and is defective. Now is defective means there are two alternatives possible. This is like we did that yesterday, joint family. Find the probability that there is a daughter. So here also two alternatives are possible. When will the item be defective? Either you select the item of factory A1 and it is defective, or you select the item of factory A2 and it is defective. Two things are possible because we have mixed up the items. So either you get the item of A1 and it turns out to be defective, or you select the item of A2 and it turns out to be defective. Now tell me, being defective, is it a dependent event or independent event? Dependent event, because it depends. If you select from A1, then the chances of defective are different. If you select from A2, then the chances of defective are different. So are these two dependent or independent events? Dependent. So what formula we will use here is P of A1 into P of B slash A1, dependent events formula. And how will you find OR means plus? How will you find A2 intersection D? P of A2 into P of D slash A2. Exactly similar to what we did yesterday with that daughters. Joint family 1 and it's a girl given that it's a joint family 1 plus joint family 2 and it's a daughter given that it's joint family 2. Similar to that. But the difference here, probabilities are directly given, and yesterday it was in the form of a table. We have to find the probabilities. That is the only difference. Okay. Now what is P of A1? 6 by 10. D slash A1? 2 by 100. A2? 4 by 10. D slash A2? 3 by 100. So 6 into 2, 12 by 1000. Plus 4 into 3, 12 by 10 into 100, 1000. 12 plus 12, 24 by 1000. 2 into 12, 2 into 500. 2 into 6, 2 into 250. 2 into 3, 2 into 125. Any confusion in this? All you understood it? So first we define three events, then you write down after these probabilities. Write down. Let event A1 be the event that, let event A1 be the event that the item is selected from factory A1. Let event A2 be the event that the item is selected from factory A2. Okay, now write down these four probabilities first. A1, D slash A1, A2, D slash A2. Actually, D did not define. One more event you will define. But let event D be the event that the item is defective. Let event D be the event that the item is defective. Now write down these four. It does not tell the 4 probabilities. Now let us look at just the probability that the item is defective. Just the probability that the item is defective is equal to, now show the complete. So all have understood this. Now illustration 32-33 you did your homework yesterday. 34-35 will discuss their simple ones. We've done that today in the exercise. You'll be able to do that. See that illustration 34. Two balanced dice are thrown simultaneously and make the sample space. 36 outcomes. Find the probability that to reveal it that at least one dice shows 5. Same way here it is asked at least one of the two dice shows number 3. Same answer you get given by 36. At least 1, at least 2, at least 3, at least 4, at least 5, at least 6. All will have same answer. Because even in at least 3, you'll get that entire column of 3 and the entire row of 3. So 11 outcomes will be there. Do it that way only, they have done in a very weird manner. You'll not be able to understand that. So you do it with that sample space only. Okay? You'll get the same answer. Look at illustration 35. Two cities A and B of different states have raised on 60% and 75% respectively. You see that event A be the event that city A has the rain. That event B be the event that city B has the rain. What is PA? 60 by 100, 60 by 100 will make it. PB 75 by 100. Now, for the cities A and B, find the probability that on a certain monsoon day, and then both city have rains, there is A intersection B. You simply do PA into PB. Are they dependent or independent? Does the rain in city A depend on rain in city B? No. They are independent events. So PA into PB. And then at least one city has rains, means PA union B. How will you find PA union B? PA plus PB minus PA intersection B you obtained in the first one. And third one, we did this in the notes and we have done it earlier also. Raise your hand. Only one city has rains. A union B minus A intersection B. Take out rule 1 and then notes, last note. Rule 1 and then last note. Below rule 1 in the summary, what is the last note? Only one of the two events occur. And what is the formula we have written for only one of the two events occur? A union B minus A intersection B. That is what is asked here. Only one city has rains. Means what will you find the last one? Second answer minus first answer. A union B minus A intersection. Again, do it that way only. They have done it very complicated the last one. So you do it that way only. A union B minus A intersection B. Did you understand this? So this will be your homework. Okay. Now, rest will take after Diwali vacations. We'll reopen the classes on 30th October and same regular timings 6 to 8:50. Those who have not got the assignment collected from the office, those who have not been attending the classes, spread the message to them to collect the assignment. If they not, then as such they have to do it after